Imagine that stunning October morning in Tennessee. Everything seemed just right for hitting the trails. The fresh air and the bright blue sky set this fantastic mood for what lay ahead. Yet, I felt a deeper connection to this race than just another event. We were here to raise funds for a charity committed to helping people with disabilities, a cause that struck a chord with me and made me feel part of something really meaningful. As I arrived at the starting area, I took a moment to observe the eclectic group of participants, many of whom had physical challenges. Just witnessing their presence sparked something in me. They could have opted for 1,000 other activities, but here they were, determined to conquer that rugged trail. A wave of admiration washed over me, mixing with respect. I turned to a nearby volunteer, a woman named Mara, and said, "Isn't that just amazing?" She lit up in response, her eyes full of pride. "So many of these racers have overcome incredible obstacles, but they're here, ready to run today," she said warmly. As I was warming up, I noticed a young man fiddling with his backpack. He had a prosthetic leg and carried himself with such calmness, as if facing challenges like this was just part of his daily routine. I couldn't resist chatting with him. "Hey, is this your first time on this trail?" I inquired, eager to strike up a conversation. He shyly smiled and answered, "Yes, it is. After several surgeries and a lot of therapy, I thought I'd give it a try. I'm Ronan." His determination truly impressed me, and I couldn't help but give him a reassuring pat on the shoulder. Just being here makes you a winner in my book. It's an honor to run alongside you. Once the starting signal rang out, adrenaline kicked in. We all dashed off together, and the energy of the event was infectious. The initial miles flowed easily, with everyone managing their pace. But as the trail progressed, the challenge ramped up. A series of steep climbs, rocky patches, and that biting chill began to push my limits. Fatigue started creeping in, yet I reminded myself, this is for them. It's more than just a race. With that thought guiding me, each step began to carry a weight of significance, reigniting my passion for the mission we were all part of. Little did I know that this exciting start would lead to an experience that would change my life. As the race continued, the trail transformed into a true test. Imagine the rush I felt at first, fueled by adrenaline. But as I continued on my journey, clarity took its place. Each step seemed to pull more from my reserves, and this trek turned out to be longer than I had anticipated, pushing every muscle and nerve to its limit. The inclines were steep, the ground was littered with rocks, and I could feel the coldness in the air getting sharper. My breath quickened, and with each beat of my heart, the pressure around me intensified. Then, I came face to face with a wide, icy river that demanded my attention. There was no option to turn around. Crossing it was the only way forward. I took a moment to gather myself, inhaled deeply, and stepped into the biting cold water. The moment I plunged in, the frigidness enveloped me, a stinging sensation that cut through my skin. I tried to move quickly, but every step sapped my energy. When I finally reached the other side, my legs quivered as an icy numbness spread through me. Pushing onward became a struggle. My vision began to blur, and my breaths grew heavier. My mind was telling me to keep going, reminding me to hold on, but I could feel my body giving in. "Just a bit farther, Ronan," I repeated to myself, urging my tired limbs and trying to convince them that the end was close. Exhaustion clouded my sense of time, and I felt like my legs were moving on autopilot, as if I had lost the ability to fully control them. Out of nowhere, the environment shifted into a haunting stillness. The trail that once buzzed with the energy of fellow runners became eerily deserted. In that moment, I felt an overwhelming weight that I could no longer sustain. My legs gave out beneath me, and I sank down to the ground. The softness of the earth cushioned my fall, but I was quickly engulfed by dizziness, and an unfamiliar weakness took hold, as if my body had decided to shut down completely. As my vision started to fade even further, an intense wave of cold washed over me, numbing my fingers. Breathing became a struggle, and then everything went black. My last memories were consumed by a suffocating silence, a feeling of drifting away from everything familiar. Deep inside, I sensed that something was fundamentally wrong. The level of fatigue I was experiencing was unlike anything from previous races. As I lay on the frozen ground, unaware that I was about to enter an experience unlike any I had faced before, I lost consciousness. It felt like slipping into a strange void. At first, it was a deep, restorative sleep, a complete shutdown of awareness. Gradually, however, I began to surface back into consciousness, only to find myself staring at a puzzling scene unfolding below me. There I lay, stretched out on the path, feeling as if my vitality had slipped away. My complexion was pale, and my mouth hung open, hinting at a final breath that had seemingly escaped. People started to gather, their expressions painted with concern and urgency, drawing closer to the scene. Oddly enough, every hushed comment and frenzied whisper reached me with astonishing clarity. Is he breathing? Does anyone have a cell phone? Help is needed, immediately. One frantic voice pierced through the crowd, while another urged everyone to keep their distance. It was as if I was merely watching a movie of my own life, unable to join in. I attempted to cry out or even move a finger, but my body remained unresponsive. I felt like an echo, drifting in my own story. Suddenly, I heard the distant cry of sirens drawing nearer, and a pair of paramedics rushed towards me, diving straight into action. I observed them checking my vitals, administering CPR, and carefully placing an oxygen mask over my face. One paramedic exchanged a worried glance with the other, his brow furrowed as he whispered, "His pulse is extremely weak. We've got to move him quickly." As they worked with urgency, I began to feel myself slipping away, as if an unseen force was gently pulling me from the frenetic scene. It was a blend of fear and unexpected peace. I grasped what was unfolding, though everything felt oddly dreamlike. Then, a sudden jolt ran through me, an intense energy urging me further from my physical self. Within moments, the world around me blurred into nothingness, leaving behind a profound, all-encompassing darkness. This wasn't a frightening void. Rather, it felt like a boundless space, absent of pain, noises, or any sensations. I became aware of being suspended in a timeless realm. Gradually, I sensed a presence, more an essence than a physical being, wrapping around me completely. I couldn't make out any figures, but the feeling of connection was unmistakable. In the midst of the stillness, a voice resonated, the tone firm, tranquil, and deeply ingrained within me. "Isaiah, you find yourself at a threshold, a gateway between worlds. Your journey is not yet complete, but..." The voice continued with a weighty significance, urging me to grasp something essential before returning. It radiated authority and wisdom, yet it felt inviting rather than frightening, as though each word carried immense importance, beckoning me toward a purpose beyond my understanding. I felt a fleeting sense of clarity about it all, but the voice pressed on without allowing me a moment to pause for reflection. "You're about to face an important revelation," it announced. "One that connects not just with you, but with everyone on this planet." Excitement and anxiety bubbled within me, knowing that this knowledge would shift how I viewed everything. I felt a deep awareness, recognizing the encounter's significance, even though the future seemed unclear. As I was shrouded in darkness, a feeling crept in, one of impending awakening. It seemed like I was on the verge of a new awareness that would forever change my path. In this void, an immense force began to pull at me, growing more intense with each passing moment. It felt like being caught in a whirlpool, an unseen tide too strong to resist. It was both thrilling and confusing, and even though my physical being had faded away, the genuine fear of being whisked into the unknown was undeniable. Time, as I knew it, elongated beyond my previous experiences. Eventually, the inky black transformed into a softly illuminated, serene cave. It was more than just a cave. It had a weighty, almost ethereal quality. Then that commanding voice returned, clearer and more forceful, seeming to seep directly into my mind and touch every part of my being. "Mara Chambers, remember this date, November 5th, 2024, it pronounced with calm authority. "This day will mark a milestone, a beginning of a shift that will reverberate through humanity. After this moment, the world you recognize will start to evolve, and those yearning for spiritual growth must come together to face challenges that go beyond the physical realm." The weight of its words settled deeply in my mind, each one carving a lasting impression. But what's going to happen on that day? I pondered, silently hoping someone was noting my curiosity. There was a brief silence, as if the voice was taking a moment to consider my question. Then it responded, profound and resolute. "Imagine a world poised for change, spiritual awakenings and tangible transformations coming together, ready to usher in a new understanding for Earth. But alongside this promise lies a need for resilience and compassion. Only those who are open to growth will begin to understand the unraveling of these events. My mind raced with questions. What did this all signify? What lay ahead for us as a species? I found myself yearning for understanding, but the voice guiding me hesitated, holding back secrets. Then it delivered a weighty message meant for me. Mara, your presence here is purposeful. You're meant to play an essential part. Return and share the knowledge you've gained. Others will hear your words and begin preparing their hearts for the changes ahead. Those words struck deep, carrying a surprising weight. A swirl of confusion washed over me. What did this responsibility truly mean? Yet amidst all that uncertainty, I felt the significance of my role urging me forward. This wasn't just a warning, it felt like a call to help others find a new direction. As I mulled over this revelation, an unexpected warmth enveloped me. Light burst forth from every corner of the cave, a stark contrast to the surrounding darkness. It filled the space and wrapped me in a blanket of tranquility, washing away my fears and doubts. The voice fell silent, but its message resonated deep within me. I realized that returning to the outside world would mark a significant shift. My life would never be the same again. November 5th, 2024, loomed in my thoughts, a date signaling the beginning of something substantial. The light intensified, beckoning me toward an uncharted territory that seemed to hold the answers I craved. Suddenly, everything started to make sense, illuminating the fact that I wasn't alone in this journey. An incredible force was at play, guiding this experience and preparing me for what lay ahead. With a calm acceptance, I surrendered to the light, understanding that this was just the next phase of my journey. This illumination was more than just brightness. It flowed through me, intertwining with every aspect of my being. The peace wrapping around me was unlike anything I had encountered before, anchoring me in a way I struggled to describe. Imagine a moment so profound that it dissolves every ounce of pain and despair. I melded into this stunning environment, feeling a disconnection from my past self, while simultaneously uncovering a new version of me. A brilliant light stretched before me, pulling me closer, but just as I reached out, I hit an unseen barrier. Each step felt as though it demanded extraordinary strength, a power I didn't even know I possessed. Yet a persistent voice within pushed me onward, a magnetic force urging me to continue. Imagine discovering a glow that seemed to hold the answers I hadn't even realized I was searching for all my life. With each step I took, drawn closer to it, a wave of calm and affection washed over me. It felt like the very heart of the universe was wrapping around me, offering a cocoon of warmth and security. As I navigated this odd expedition, I began to sense an unseen force guiding my way forward, urging me to press on despite any hesitations. My mind played a slideshow of vivid images, each one like a snapshot of a bigger, more profound truth. I envisioned endless, sunlit fields filled with smiling faces, a place free from fear and strife, where harmony reigned and everyone was united by something much greater than themselves. This vision bubbled up hope and joy within me, and before I knew it, I was smiling, fully embracing the moment. Then I sensed another presence beside me. It wasn't a physical figure, but an energy so inviting it felt like I had gained a new companion. This aura radiated a profound calmness that made it clear it was a benevolent force, wanting nothing more than my happiness and guiding me towards deeper understanding. As I drew nearer to the light, all the barriers dissolved, and I felt an overwhelming warmth of acceptance. It was indescribable, a soul-deep reassurance that I was on the verge of grasping a fundamental truth about life. Then, out of the blue, that presence seemed to convey something, not through words but directly to my spirit. It whispered that this was a sanctuary of true peace, sharing a sacred insight. Only those who genuinely pursue with love and sincerity can reach this place. My mind buzzed with questions, but the state I found myself in made it hard to express them. It was as if all the answers were already within me, ready for me to uncover. The insights were already part of my being, I just had to connect with them. Thoughts spiraled in my mind, emphasizing that to live in true harmony with our world, we must understand the essence of reality. This is where truths unfold, revealing themselves to those prepared to see them. That notion struck me profoundly, like a seed planted in my soul. What does preparation truly entail? How do I nurture peace and love within myself and share it with those around me? I found myself swimming in questions, yet it dawned on me that this adventure was really about growth and discovery, not merely the pursuit of clear-cut answers. As I stood there, an unexpected calm washed over me, soothing the struggles I had faced and the challenges still to come. Time seemed to fade, and I connected with a timeless essence that seemed to weave everything together. In that moment, I realized I was woven into an immense tapestry of love that linked all forms of life. An eagerness surged within me, urging me to venture further into that radiant light, as if each step would bring me closer to uncovering the true purpose of existence. Approaching that illuminating glow, what I had been seeking started to materialize. Although it sparkled brilliantly, the form became clearer. Out of the blue, I suddenly recognized the figure before me. Although I had never met him in person, my spirit recognized him instantly. Isaiah. The energy radiating from him was infused with love and compassion, enveloping me in a warmth that surpassed anything I had known. He looked at me with a serene smile, an expression full of understanding, as if he was aware of every joy and sorrow I carried, every trial I endured, and every victory I celebrated. At first, words weren't necessary. His very presence offered an overwhelming sense of safety and welcome that felt unique. Then he broke the silence. His voice flowed gently, filled with a depth of wisdom that felt profound. "Mara," he began, and just hearing my name from him settled something restless within me. "You've already accomplished far more than you realize. The small gestures, the acts of kindness, these are what shape our world, no matter how insignificant they may appear." I absorbed every word in silence, realizing I had never truly recognized the significance of my own actions until that moment. In his presence, I began to grasp the true value of those little moments. The times I helped strangers, the kindnesses that seemed like second nature. Imagine sharing gentle words with a close friend. Isaiah, with his comforting tone, reminded me that the journey Ronan took was about more than just physical endurance. It stood for a deeper purpose, reflecting your desire to help others and your determination to confront challenges. Each step he took symbolized a promise to serve and love, linking him to a broader community that touches everyone around. Tears welled in my eyes as uncertainty gripped me. I managed to whisper, "What about those times I messed up? Do my mistakes even count?" Isaiah met my gaze with a warm smile, his eyes brimming with understanding instead of judgment. "Everyone stumbles, Mara," he replied softly. "What really matters is the lessons you take from those moments and your intent to grow. Acknowledging your role in every decision and continuously seeking to do better is what truly counts." His words resonated deeply with me, filling the space with an overwhelming sense of acceptance. No blame, no guilt, just a pure message of love without conditions. I began to realize that authentic spirituality doesn't dwell in perfection. It's about the effort to spread goodness, even through the smallest gestures. Every act of kindness, no matter how minor, creates ripples of love that expand infinitely, he said. When you help a stranger or offer comforting words to someone in pain, those moments have lasting effects, even if you might never see them. As he spoke, a vivid montage of my past played in my mind, images flashing like scenes from a movie. I remembered the day I helped a homeless man. I had no idea how that small act could change his life, giving him hope for a fresh start. On the flip side, I recalled moments where I inadvertently hurt someone, leading to heartache I never wanted to cause. Each memory emerged with sharp clarity, yet there was no guilt from Isaiah, just an illumination of the growth that can emerge from our missteps. It hit me suddenly how essential each choice in life truly is. Life isn't just about moving from one day to the next. It's an opportunity to spread love and kindness at every turn. Every person I met, every circumstance I encountered was a chance to enrich the world with positivity. Looking back at Isaiah, I felt a renewed sense of determination stirring within me, a clearer understanding of how my actions could shape the world around me. After our encounter, a strong desire to embody the lessons I had learned began to well up inside me. I wanted to seize every opportunity to do good as life unfolded. being in the presence of Isaiah illuminated what love and compassion truly mean. My purpose on this earth expanded into something far beyond what I had ever imagined. In the aftermath of that life-changing moment with Isaiah, vivid snapshots of my experiences surfaced, each filled with astonishing clarity and insight that I never thought possible. Imagine a moment when everything suddenly clicked, illuminating the choices I'd made and the ways they shaped the lives of others, for better or worse. It was like scenes from my past played out before me, compelling me to think carefully about how my decisions had lasting impacts. One memory that surfaced caught me off guard. It was something I hadn't thought about in years. Picture a typical afternoon a while back. I was wandering through a town square when I noticed a homeless man. His vacant stare and worn expression spoke volumes about his struggles. I could have easily walked past him, but something held me back. Instead, I engaged him in conversation, offering not just a little cash, but also my time. I still recall asking his name, listening intently as he shared his tale of being lost and hopeless. Yet, during those few minutes, I saw a glimmer of hope spark in his eyes. It was then that Jesus showed me what happened with him after our encounter. That small gesture of kindness I thought meant so little was actually a seed of hope. He sought help, began looking for temporary work, and eventually found a place to rest his head. I never realized the importance of that moment until I stood with Jesus, seeing that even the tiniest actions can create ripples, even when we aren't aware of them. With such warmth in his gaze, Jesus said to me, "Mara, remember that these small acts of kindness, your choices to show compassion, send waves throughout the world, much like raindrops upon a calm pond. Each individual touched by love can then spread it even further." My heart felt full as I grasped the meaningful impact of just one simple act. Then, Jesus gently nudged me to confront the tougher times, the moments when my actions caused hurt. I found myself reliving a painful exchange I wished to forget, a fierce argument with a colleague some time back. We were both overwhelmed, and one day I snapped and said things that cut deep. In that heated moment, I didn't think about the consequences of my words. Reflecting on that encounter, I finally understood how it had affected him, leaving him feeling discouraged and uncertain about his role at work. Jesus didn't need to say a thing. His expression conveyed empathy and understanding, never a hint of judgment. I started to understand that my time there wasn't about feeling judged, but instead about grasping the heavy burden of responsibility we all carry. Ronan wanted me to see just how important our choices are, no matter how small they might seem. Each action can leave a mark, whether it's a positive one or not. In the midst of this, Isaiah shared some wisdom with me. "You're just human, Mara," he said softly. "Mistakes are part of the journey. What truly counts is how you react to what you discover. Each decision should come from a place of kindness and understanding. That's what life is all about." His words hit home. I realized that life revolves around growth and learning instead of striving for perfection. It's really about being open to improvement and making things right. Still curious and a bit overwhelmed by these insights, I couldn't help but ask, how do I tackle these flaws? Isaiah, with a warm smile, responded, "Begin by acknowledging your responsibilities, then choose to change. Each new day gives you a chance to create something better and to spread love. Let this awareness guide your actions going forward." Looking into his eyes, I felt the weight of a simple truth. Real change comes from our ability to learn and adapt. As I transitioned back to my normal routine, I realized I needed to shift my focus. Rather than just going through the motions, I wanted to actively spread goodness, kindness, and harmony in my interactions. That realization was a turning point. I sensed a strong responsibility to live out these lessons, making sure that every word and action embodied compassion for others. As I took in the depth of my influence, a sense of peace enveloped me. Yet there was another question simmering in my mind. Being in Isaiah's presence was more than simply enlightening. It was a unique opportunity to dive into some questions that had long lingered. Seizing the moment, I respectfully asked, why do some people who come close to death encounter divine beings, while others see angels or nothing at all? Is there a specific reason for this discrepancy? Isaiah listened intently, his warm expression showing he understood where I was coming from. Imagine a conversation that feels deeply relatable, where Ronan's essence communicates a love that goes beyond words, as if he could see straight into the heart of my uncertainties. Imagine grappling with the big questions in life, seeking out meaning and direction. That's where I found myself, caught in a whirlwind of uncertainty reflecting something deeper within me. It was in this contemplative state that Ronan's voice broke through. Smooth and comforting, it struck a chord with me. He conveyed, "Every individual possesses a distinctive story." His words painted a picture of our varied journeys. Some may just need a nudge to remember their purpose, while others are on a quest for proof of a reality beyond what we see. He went on to explain that the different experiences during near-death encounters really depend on a person's spiritual needs and their current stage in life. Those insights hit home, prompting me to rethink my own views. For the longest time, I assumed there was a single truth, a universal path for spirituality that everyone could follow. However, a realization dawned on me then. Spirituality is deeply personal. Every individual chooses their own route, shaped by their unique circumstances and struggles. In a moment of curiosity, I couldn't hold back any longer. I asked, how do we truly discover what our purpose is? This question had been nagging at me, always hovering in the background. With a compassionate smile, Ronan replied, "Finding your purpose isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, requiring you to really listen to your heart and instincts. Many look outside themselves for answers, but the real truth comes from within." He emphasized that embracing love, compassion, and committing to living each day to its fullest offers clarity on the path ahead. His message resonated profoundly. It wasn't about nailing down one definitive answer, but rather being open to uncovering what truly drives me. Life unfolds layer by layer, and it's not restricted by strict rules. The decisions I make, rooted in love and an eagerness for growth, shape my personal narrative. Then, another question popped into my mind. What about those who seem lost, the ones battling their darkness or struggling to find their way? Ronan took a moment, closing his eyes as he pondered my inquiry. When he finally opened them, the tranquility in his expression was striking. "No soul is ever truly lost," he reassured me. "Life is a journey of growth, and even if someone takes a wrong turn, the lessons keep coming. Each person is on their unique adventure, and often it's through pain that we are shaken awake and driven to seek something beyond ourselves." He mentioned that we're never truly on our own. There's always support and guidance around us, even if it's not immediately visible. Hearing him say that brought me an immense sense of calm. It was like he was shining a light on the beautiful thread of compassion that binds us all together. Life can be tough, but despite the struggles, we're interconnected on this journey. Every single person has the chance to find redemption and step back into the light, if only they allow it. It was during my time with Jesus that I started to realize spirituality is a highly personal adventure. It can't be forced or boxed into a strict definition. Instead, it flourishes from our daily choices and our dedication to love and kindness. I felt a weight lift from me as I understood that figuring out my life's purpose wasn't about searching for some hidden gem, but about living it out with genuine intentions and a readiness to grow. In those quiet moments spent reflecting with Jesus, it became clear to me that true purpose is a dynamic journey of self-discovery and evolution. Each of us has an essential part to play in the vastness of the universe, shaped by our decisions and the love we offer. After this eye-opening conversation with him, a delicate subject nudged at my thoughts, one that had always felt clouded and mysterious, not just for me but for many: abortion. It's such a layered issue, brimming with confusion and disagreement. Though I hesitated to bring it up, the serene atmosphere prompted me to seek deeper understanding. "Jesus," I expressed, "I want to explore abortion, what it truly signifies for life and its purpose. What's the reality behind it?" Our eyes met, and a profound stillness surrounded us, as if he was allowing me a moment to prepare for what he might say. When he finally responded, his words were wrapped in love and compassion, leaving an enduring impression on my heart. "Life, Isaiah," he began, "is a sacred gift. Every soul that comes into this world has a special purpose and a path for growth. From the instant of conception, a journey starts, not only a physical one, but a spiritual voyage as well. The sanctity of life is embedded in every experience, every trial, every joy, and every sorrow. They all mold a soul for something greater. His calm words sparked a deeper appreciation within me for the miracle of life, and suddenly, each heartbeat and each moment resonated with profound importance. I've always held a deep appreciation for the fragility of life, yet when Jesus spoke about it so candidly, it shed light on areas I'd never truly explored before. He went on to illustrate his point, saying, "At its essence, making a choice about abortion weighs heavily on the spirit. It's a decision often shrouded in sorrow and complexity." It really made me pause and think about how, in tough situations, our first instinct shouldn't be to judge, but rather to approach each other with compassion. It hit me that every person's journey is so distinct. Many find themselves needing understanding and support instead of harsh words. A wave of relief washed over me when I realized that Jesus wasn't there to lay down strict rules. His message was one of love and a recognition of the complicated nature of human choices. Through this, I came to see life as an intricate tapestry, full of doubts and hard times, with each of us carrying burdens that can often feel overwhelming. Curiously, I asked, what becomes of those who face these hard decisions? What does it mean for their paths or the souls not yet born? Jesus responded with kindness in his eyes, explaining that every choice brings its consequences, but life goes on regardless. He comforted me with the thought that a soul awaiting birth doesn't simply disappear. It flows back into the vastness of creation, ready for new beginnings. Those confronted with tough choices can learn and grow through their experiences. It's all rooted in love and compassion, offering continuous opportunities for healing and redemption. His insight struck a chord within me, opening my eyes to a universe that was far more forgiving and vast than I had ever imagined. Each life holds immeasurable value, and within it is an endless network of chances for growth, even in the face of difficult decisions. Jesus emphasized the importance of honoring life in every shape and form. We, as humans, are called to embrace life thoughtfully, with open hearts that welcome every new soul into the world. Every individual represents a unique opportunity for learning, growth, and contributions to the larger universe. Life is indeed a precious gift, intertwined with a sense of responsibility. Those realizations shifted my perspective on the sanctity of existence in a profound way. Every individual has a unique role in this world, and love serves as the guiding light through the choices we encounter. This journey isn't about pointing fingers or making judgments. Rather, it's about cultivating empathy, understanding, and honoring the diverse experiences that each person holds. After our enlightening discussion, I found myself filled with profound respect for life and the sacredness of every moment. It was Jesus who showed me that living is a cherished gift, and our mission is to embrace it with love and responsibility, continually striving to learn and grow from each encounter we have. Imagine a brilliant light enveloping me, radiating from Jesus, pulling me upward into a realm of overwhelming peace and love. It was as if I was stepping into a whole new world, one that promised the essence of paradise just ahead. In an instant, I felt transported to an incredible landscape beyond words. The colors seemed to burst with life, vibrant and untainted, as I stood in a vast valley surrounded by gently glowing mountains of rich green. An infinite stretch of soft, lush grass lay before me, accompanied by the soothing sounds of a clear waterfall gently playing its melody in the distance. The air was thick with an enchanting fragrance, a delightful mix of floral sweetness and something divine that was just beyond my grasp. As I took it all in, I was surrounded by others, their joyful spirits creating a warm atmosphere. Children ran wildly, laughter bubbling up all around, while adults of various ages exuded an unbreakable sense of calm. In this timeless paradise, there was no rush or anxiety, just an endless flow of serene moments. As I roamed through the valley, an overwhelming sense of tranquility washed over me. It felt as if all the weights I had carried throughout my life had melted away. In that instant, I was purely existence, a bright embodiment of love and joy. Beside me, Jesus stood serenely, his gaze filled with understanding, as if he knew that this breathtaking scene would reveal the beauty of creation and our purpose within it. "Welcome to the paradise of Isaiah Chambers," he said, his words resonating with my thoughts. In this place, there is no disconnection or suffering. Every spirit thrives in harmony, bound together by peace and divine love. His words ignited a surge of gratitude within me, bringing forth an uncontrollable smile as I took in the breathtaking scenery around us. "It's truly beautiful," I whispered, almost timidly, not wishing to break the tranquility that surrounded us. I never imagined that such beauty could exist. With a wise smile, Jesus said to me, "Mara, this place is where every soul aspires to reach. However, the journey to get here often involves valuable lessons and experiences. It's a path of growth, where each individual learns to uncover true love within themselves and align with that love." As he spoke, I noticed a group of souls, deeply absorbed in meditation, as if they were absorbing the universe's wisdom. In a moment brimming with warmth, I felt a profound connection among the souls nearby. They exuded a shared energy that transcended human understanding, their collective love creating a melody that made everything around seem vibrant. It struck me then, this love was the glue binding everything together, allowing each soul to resonate harmoniously with the cosmos. As I stood there, taking in the beauty of the moment, Jesus gently urged me to keep exploring. He guided me to an astonishing city that appeared to float effortlessly in the air, constructed from radiant light and stunning architecture. It took my breath away, challenging all my previous ideas of what a city could be. Each structure felt weightless, as if the air itself was supporting them. He shared that this was the home of souls who had completed their journey, existing in peace and unity, embodying the essence of divine love. Gazing upon the splendor of this city, a realm where peace was limitless, I was overwhelmed with awe. It dawned on me that paradise isn't just a place, it's a state of being, a soul's awakening to its connection with love and kindness, which together create wholeness. As I took one last look at the enchanting valley and the luminous city, an overwhelming sense of closure washed over me. I realized I had received a remarkable gift, an understanding of what lies ahead for every soul that chooses the path of love and spiritual growth. Then Jesus shared his parting thoughts. "Take this vision with you, Mara, and share it with those who long for peace. Let them see that love can heal all wounds, and that this wondrous place awaits them in a future we create together, one step at a time, each decision rooted in compassion." A profound sense of warmth enveloped my heart, a love that flowed from him to me, filling my very being. I understood, deep within, that this experience would remain with me forever. When I return, I'll carry that vision of peace and beauty, lighting my path and hopefully guiding others along the same journey. Imagine grappling with the idea of paradise and the final teachings of Jesus, feeling an emotional tug as reality creeps back in. There's a bittersweet blend of gratitude and longing swirling inside me. Even amidst the indescribable peace found in that realm, an unmistakable pull whispered for me to return home. As I drifted back, something awakened deep within me, a sense of purpose that reminded me of the important tasks awaiting my attention on Earth. It was clear, there was something significant I needed to accomplish, something I couldn't ignore. Just as the brilliant light started to fade, a wave of sadness washed over me. I yearned to linger in that tranquil space where everything felt right and love radiated in its purest form. Then, a soothing voice reached out, enveloping me in warmth like a final farewell. "Mara, your journey isn't done yet," it gently urged. "Go back and share the light you've found with those who are still searching." In an instant, an overwhelming darkness consumed me, and the serenity I'd been wrapped in shifted to a heavy, unsettling feeling. Gradually, I became aware of being pulled back into my physical form, a poignant sensation rushing through every fiber of my being. It felt like each cell was realigning, every muscle stirring to life, reintroducing itself to a world of aches and exhaustion. As awareness flooded back in, the cold air made my skin tingle, a jarring reminder that I was back to reality. I slowly opened my eyes to see anxious faces crowded around me. There I was, lying on a stretcher in an ambulance, surrounded by paramedics. One of them couldn't hide his surprise when he noticed I had regained consciousness. "Hey, you're back!" he exclaimed, relief shining through his words. "You really gave us a fright. For a moment, we thought we wouldn't be able to bring you back." I attempted to respond, but my voice barely escaped, weak and strained, as if I had just emerged from a fierce battle. My body felt as though it had endured a war. With every tick of the clock, I slipped further from that celestial experience, yet my heart held on to something different. It was a profound peace, a certainty etched deep within my soul, a love that felt timeless. As the ambulance roared back to life, I shut my eyes once more, allowing my mind to wander back to those breathtaking vistas I had witnessed. The image of that stunning valley, the ethereal city hovering above, and the vibrant energy radiating from every soul remained vivid in my memory. I felt an undeniable truth within me. Even though I was back and in my own body, everything had fundamentally changed. As I sat there processing my emotions, a kind paramedic next to me gently asked, "Want to talk about what you experienced?" I just smiled. Words eluded me. It was clear that what I had gone through was beyond my full understanding right then. It felt deep and profound, something that would take time to really process. Yet amidst the confusion, a quiet thought surfaced. Sharing this new insight with others felt like my responsibility now. Driving into town, a wave of gratitude washed over me. Here I was, alive and bursting with a renewed perspective on life. It dawned on me that I had this incredible chance to seize each day with purpose, spreading kindness, love, and compassion. I realized that true happiness springs from the simple choices we make in the moment. When I arrived at the hospital and was shown to the recovery room, memories of Jesus' last words echoed loudly in my mind. My heart overflowed with thankfulness for the second chance I had been given, a clear mission to be a beacon of light and kindness. In that instant, I made a promise to myself. No matter what challenges lay ahead, I would welcome the lessons I had learned. I decided that love and compassion would lead me to real peace, and every step I took would embody that commitment. Once I regained my strength, each day felt like a treasure chest of reflection. Every morning marked the start of a fresh chapter, reviving the essence of my transformation. Suddenly, the world around me sparkled with new meaning. The trees danced differently in the breeze, the sky seemed more expansive, and even the simple smiles exchanged with strangers became poignant reminders of the peace and love I had experienced. One significant change I noticed was how my view of people had transformed. In the past, I often rushed through my days, consumed by tasks, missing those fleeting connections. Now, every person I met felt like a precious gift, an opportunity to connect more meaningfully and live with intention. I discovered that the true essence of life is found in these simple, shared moments of kindness and attention. Then, out of the blue, I ran into an old friend from years gone by. While catching up with Ronan, he began to express some of the struggles he was encountering. As I listened to him, a surge of empathy hit me, something I hadn't experienced quite like that before. His heartache struck a chord within me, echoing the teachings of Jesus about showing compassion and accepting others without judgment. In that moment, I chose to act in a simple yet meaningful way. I put my hand on his shoulder, meeting his gaze, and assured him he wasn't facing his battles alone. We all have our inner wars to fight, and I wanted him to know he could rely on me, no matter what obstacles lay ahead. Thinking back on that pivotal time, I realized just how vital it was for me to embrace gratitude and extend it to those around me. It dawned on me then that even the smallest acts could ignite a change. This journey became a beacon for me, underscoring the importance of embodying the love and understanding I had gathered throughout my life. Interestingly, my own life experiences, including that brush with death, served as a guiding star. They influenced my choices and constantly reminded me that our environment reflects our actions. Just as I found peace in that remarkable space, I recognized that the harmony we seek externally must first take root within us. It soon became clear that my purpose was to share that inner calm with others. My son, witnessing this transformation, inspired me to build an environment rich in love and understanding. Through everyday gestures, I wanted to instill in him the value of compassion. As he grew, I could see the questions flickering in his eyes, curious about what sparked this change in me. I would share that life presents us with distinct lessons, and it's crucial to embrace them with gratitude. Over time, those experiences laid a foundation for a profound spiritual journey. I delved into ancient wisdom, sought connections with others who were also in quest of meaning, and became part of communities that provided spiritual support. These connections reminded me that I wasn't alone on this path. Many others share the longing for love, peace, and a connection to the divine. Now, reflecting on that moment that once felt so daunting, I feel deep gratitude. I've come to see that my time in Tennessee and my encounter with Isaiah Chamber weren't mere dreams. They were invitations to embrace a life of authenticity and wholeness. It's a gentle reminder that love is what genuinely counts. Each year, I find myself celebrating the anniversary of my rebirth, the moment I came back to life after facing that near-fatal experience. I take some time to pause and reflect, turning it into a personal ritual. This occasion is all about expressing gratitude and reaffirming the lessons that have stuck with me. With an open heart, I move forward, embracing the belief that every little act of love honors the promise I made that day, to spread the kindness and peace I discovered in that extraordinary state. This journey has been transformative, shaping my identity in incredible ways. As long as I draw breath, I will hold on to this mission, to be a source of light and compassion. I want to remind everyone around me that true paradise starts with the loving choices we make in every single moment.